Okay, I have just turned on the recording. A big thank you to everyone that has joined the session. I'm very, very excited about the speakers, about the contents, about everything that we're going to be sharing today, because this information has the capacity to change your life. Today, you will be listening to some of our speakers. The speakers have been in the real estate industry in Dubai for many years. And some of them, one of our speakers who is on the call already moved to Dubai from Nigeria last year, and already real estate has already changed her life. So I really see the potential and the capacity to change your own lives. So I'm going to just start by doing a quick introduction of myself. So I'm a senior property and investment manager at a company called Sobha Realty in Dubai. Sobha is one of the largest and most innovative property development companies in Dubai. We started out in 1978 when our chairman moved to the Middle East and started doing work in Oman. We're called the Palace Makers because of all the work that we've done over the years, from Oman to Tajikistan to Bahrain and a lot of other countries. We've built palaces. In our office, you can see some of the actual work that we've done for royalty in Dubai and in the rest of the Middle East. So that's one of the reasons why we're called palace makers. We have so many property developments in Dubai. Last year, we did over $3 billion in property sales across our different projects. This year already, we have already beaten that score, and we're just in the first quarter of the year. As to tell you that there's a lot of potential for you to make money, and I will be sharing that opportunity with you. Today, the goal is not for me to talk too much. For those that were on the session last week, I spoke a lot. Today's session will be mostly about our speakers who are on the, one of them is on the call already, Miss Iyanu, she's on the call already. Mr. Tobi, the other speaker, will be joining us at some point of the call. So I will largely do an introduction and talk about the opportunity a little bit more before we jump into the other speakers. Now, so just more information about my background. I drove influencer marketing strategy for the Central Bank of Nigeria, INEC, and over 40 institutions while I was in Nigeria. I moved to Dubai about 4 years ago. I was an official influencer for the Expo 2020. Expo 2020 is one of the world's biggest expos. We had over 250,000 people in Dubai for this particular event. I manage 3 digital communities. A lot of people on this call joined from one of my communities, the Beverage Room. I'm the co-founder of the Nigerians in Dubai community. We have over 20,000 members in the Nigerian Dubai community. Last year, I hosted the UAE Employability Summit. We had over 20 experts and more than 700 virtual attendees. Last year, I released a book called The Black and African Guide to Moving to the UAE. I'm extremely passionate about speaking about UAE because even before I moved to Dubai, Dubai was the #1 destination for me when it comes to holidaying around the world. I've been featured in CNN Africa, Huffington Post UK, and other global platforms. I write about everything from technology to lifestyle to changing your life. These are some of the topics that I'm extremely passionate about. Now, the name of this team is Kosher Real Estate 18. That's the name of the real estate 18 that a lot of you are already on. And I wanted to just talk a little bit about the word kosher, what the word kosher means. Kosher has 2 major meanings. One, kosher refers, sorry, I don't know, I'm having some slight issues. Give me a second to pull up my slides. Can you guys still see the slides? Can someone just confirm that you can still see the slide? Okay, let me stop my screen and reshare. Okay, so kosher. So kosher is satisfying the requirements of Jewish law. The second meaning of kosher is genuine and legitimate. That's the second meaning of kosher. The Jews have extremely sensitive laws around food that is sold, cooked, or eaten. So if you hear a food is kosher, it means it has passed those really strict laws. Now, and the other meaning of kosher is genuine and legitimate. If I say an investment is kosher, I'm talking about something being genuine and legitimate. Now, the kosher way, we want to have a lifelong partnership of making money legitimately through real estate. That's the goal for this platform, for us to have a lifelong partnership of making money legitimately through real estate. Now, some of my favorite quotes about real estate come from one Franklin D. Roosevelt, who was a former president of the United States, and Armstrong Williams, a very famous entrepreneur. Frank D. Roosevelt said, real estate cannot be lost or stolen, nor can it be carried away. Purchased with common sense, paid for in full, and managed with reasonable care, it is about the safest investment in the world. Real estate is one of the lifelong investments that people have been investing from time immemorial. Today, people are investing in mutual funds, in tech, and a lot of these things that are emerging. But real estate is the safest and as well as the longest investment that has ever been in the world. We will continue to invest in real estate. Armstrong Williams says real estate provides the highest returns, the greatest value, and the least risk. That's what Armstrong B. Williams does. So I like to combine both quote, purchase with common sense. Purchase with common sense is a very, very important part that even helps Armstrong Williams. The only way real estate is of the least risk is if it's purchased with common sense. Now, I put up these numbers to give you guys a sense of what our goals are. I'm a big believer of setting goals early, setting lofty goals. That's what I'm a big believer of. Now, these are the goals that I want everyone to set for themselves. $100,000 monthly, $20,000 per deal. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have been seeing the post I've been doing on social. You probably saw an ad that I put up on Instagram. That was how you got introduced to this call. Some of you are on the WhatsApp group as well, where I've been daily sharing lots of information. Last year, we did over $500 million in revenue from Nigeria, South Africa, Ghana, and Kenya. Over $500 million. From India alone, for property sales in Dubai, we did over 1.5 billion. That gives you an indication of the amounts of potential that is available in the market. $500 million worth of property was bought in Dubai from people in Nigeria, South Africa, Ghana, and Kenya. How are these people buying? Who are these people? Those are the two questions that you need to answer in order for you to be able to make the $100,000 monthly and the $20,000 per deal. How are they buying? Who are these people? In Sobha, our data shows that anybody that buys one Sobha property ends up buying a second Sobha property. That's what our data tells. At Sobha, one of our goals is we do not meet international standards where real estate is concerned. We set it. We set the standard. If you're in Dubai, if you have any experience with the property market, what people talk about is Sobha quality. Sobha quality. That's what people always talk about. So these are some of the things that are extremely important to us, extremely important to our CEO, and extremely important to the entire team. So set this number, write this number somewhere. $100,000 monthly, $20,000 per deal. The company made over $500 million from Nigeria, South Africa, Ghana, and Kenya last year because people are investing not just in real estate, but in real estate in Dubai. And people are cashing out by connecting investors to Dubai. Now, what are some of the numbers? How are these numbers broken down? Now, our starting commissions are as high as 5%, with the potential to grow based on repeated volume of business. Minimum commissions usually start from $20,000. In the last 6 months, we paid one single international partner $350,000. One single partner. That's someone that has been doing a lot of the work that is required to make the money. Now, you have opportunities for combined efforts to expand to other markets. We have opportunities for co-branded events with HNIs in international markets with all venue costs covered by us, Sobha. We have specialized campaigns that could include business trips to Dubai. We have partnership announcements in local news platforms in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Namibia, any of the locations where you're doing business, which help to improve company reputation. Now, beyond the benefits of just work, so some of those benefits I just shared are some of the benefits that Sobha gives. So the 100,000 monthly number, the 20,000 per deal, we give out 5% minimum. 5% minimum. That's what we give out for our commission. Average property value in Sobha is between $320,000 to about $1 million. Average property value. So right now I have inventory of things that you can remarket for between $320,000 to about $1 million. So you can easily make your 5%. If you sold a property of $1 million from Sobha at 5%, what is your you get over $50,000. So $20,000 is the least that you can possibly make. Now, some of the other things that are available is 100,000 dirhams instant close deal bonus. 100,000 dirhams instant close deal bonus. That's about $290. So if we close a deal, you immediately get $290,000 from me. This is me. I'm the one giving this particular amount to incentivize members of this team. Sobha gives you your $20,000. You get the money in 3 to 4 weeks. That's the typical period it takes for commissions to be paid out. But I will give you your money in 1 to 5 days dollars. So you start spending, you start enjoying the money even before Sobha pays. You get social media and digital marketing support. Every weekend, every Saturday, we have sessions like this. Last weekend, I delved a bit deeply into social media marketing and how you can get sales using social media. You get social media and digital marketing support. I even give out leads sometimes, depending on your level of activity, your level of seriousness with this business. You can get social media and digital marketing support. You get a chance to be in a Dubai real estate collaborative book project in September. In September, we're releasing a book titled Dubai Real Estate Masterclass. That's what the book is about. The book, last year we released the book, The Black and African Guide to Moving to the UAE. But this year we're releasing a book around the Dubai real estate. We're going to have a much more sexier title and sexier name as we get towards September. But you will be in a book. You will get a full chapter in the book. You'll get the chance to share your story. Data has shown that one of the things that improves reputation of anyone is being in a book. So you will get a chance to be in a collaborative book. You get a free ticket to Dubai in September. If you meet that 15 million AED band, you get a free ticket to Dubai. 15 million AED band is about $5 million, and it's not difficult to meet at all. You get employment in September in Dubai with a minimum of 6,000 to 12,000 dirham salary. For some of you, one of the motivations for you is that you want to move to Dubai. You want to have a salary. 600,000 dirhams at today's exchange rate is about 950,000 naira. 12,000 dirhams at today's exchange is about 1.9 million. So depending on your sales value between now and September, you get the chance to move to Dubai on a minimum salary of 6 to 12,000 dirhams. You get a chance, okay, some of these things are repeated. So these are some of the advantages of being part of this real estate 18. And I'm very, very excited. I've been seeing a lot of people that have joined the team. I love the activity level. I've been on calls with clients. Some people are already close to having their first deal. It is very exciting. Now, we have a WhatsApp platform where daily I drop tips, I drop motivation, and I drop new product knowledge. For example, on Monday, Sobha is launching a new waterfront project. It's a Miami-style waterfront project. It's very amazing. For you to get this sort of information ahead of time, you need to be in our WhatsApp group. We have 2 WhatsApp groups. One, we have WhatsApp group B, 18, but WhatsApp group B. WhatsApp group B is for people that have not sold anything yet. People that are just trying to sell. That's in WhatsApp group B. It's a great group. A lot of people are in that group at the moment. Last count were about 40-something people. WhatsApp group 18, WhatsApp group A has people that have sold their first project. Once you have sold your first project, you move from WhatsApp group B to WhatsApp group A. The people in WhatsApp group A, in addition to the perks, the commissions, and so many things, they get so many other things. They get a chance to be mentored by a lot of people, international sales people that can give them a lot more focus. They get a few more incentives, things like spa, free spa trips, and so many other things that they get. So we have two groups, A team group B and A team group A. A lot of you are A team group B. For those that have not even that just on the call for the first time, you are if you're just going to join the team, you will be on WhatsApp group A team group B. But by the time you've sold your first property, you move to real estate A team group A. That's when things begin to start get more interesting. Now I want to talk about some of the advantages of investing in Dubai property. I have about 10 minutes to go before Iyanu comes on board. Now, our projects are located in Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum City. So Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum is the name of the Sheikh of Dubai. This city is in Meydan. Meydan is the new downtown Dubai. This is heralding the new direction for development in Dubai. A lot of focus is being put in this particular city, from apartments to villas, a pretty amazing transformation. There's zero tax on residential income. At the moment, there's zero tax on income at all. So that's one of the advantages of moving to Dubai. That's one of the advantages of buying real estate into Dubai. Singapore, there's tax on real estate in Singapore, tax on real estate in Canada, tax on real estate in some of the other markets that are competing with in Dubai, even in Turkey. Now, another advantage of investing in Dubai real estate is long-term renewal residency visa. For 3 years for investments above 1 million, 5 years for investments above 5 million, and 10 years for investments above 10 million. So any of your clients that buys real estate property in Dubai, they get 3-year Dubai residency. This visa is renewable for as long as they own the property. It keeps getting renewed. If they buy above 1 million, they get 3 years, not 2 years. That's a mistake on the slide. If they buy above 5 million, they get 5 years. So, and what does this give them? For people from third world countries like Nigeria, Ghana, like a lot of our countries, it gives you a lot more access to travel. A lot more access to travel. Dubai has a lot of visa-free countries to everyone that has the Emirates ID. Apart from that, as an investor, they get, when they buy a property, they get an investor visa. This is a much more higher visa than people that are working. So this is some of the potential. Now, people buy real estate in Dubai for two reasons. One, either they want to live in it or they want to rent it out, or they want to sell it. Let me add that as a third reason. Real estate properties in Dubai, in our area in Dubai, offer 8 to 11% rental returns and incremental ROI. In New York or London, it's about 2 to 3%. During the first 3 months of the expo, it got as high as 12 to 15%. Personally, I live in a 2-bedroom apartment. At some points during the expo, I left my house. I rented out my house on Airbnb. I made over 25% rental returns. That's how much the opportunity is. Average rent price within the Meydan area is 70 to 150,000 dirhams. That's average rent price. The investment is located in the safest city in the world. Dubai is the second most visited city in the world. It's a good potential for fast rising Airbnb business. Our properties are closest to the financial district in Dubai. There are so many opportunities for people to buy. There are things like mortgages that are available. The third speaker, Mr. Tobi Familusi, will be able to talk about that in depth. He's an international business development manager and really manages a lot of this process. So he will talk about some of those things in depth. But so when it comes, there are amazing payment plans as well for a lot of your clients. So there's so much potential. I will talk a little bit about how to profile clients at some point in this call, but these are just some of the things. I'm conscious of my time. So let me just talk about, as I've talked about, advantages of investing in Dubai real estate. Now, this is an article on Construction Week. It's a global platform for real estate in the world. This was their award ceremony in December. Sobha Realty takes home Developer of the Year award. Our company won Developer of the Year award in Dubai just in December. Anyone that has visited some of our projects sees the level of detail that we put into the project, the quality. We have something called an experience center that's right now being studied at Harvard as a case study. If you Google, I'm just going to mute that person. There's someone that just came on the call. Please kindly mute yourself as soon as you come on the call, please, so you don't distract other people. So Sobha won the Developer of the Year award. That's to tell you the amount of quality. We do not in any way compromise on quality. If something there's a mistake somewhere, it will be redone. That's the thing. We have over 5 years guarantee on our structures for clients. If there's any problem, we'll redo it. We have all the appliances, so our apartments are semi-furnished. All the appliances are from Siemens. So we have over 1 year guarantee on all the appliances. So things like refrigerator, things like cooker, things like microwave, like oven, like washing machine. Our projects are mostly off-plan projects. For those that don't know what an off-plan project is, an off-plan project, investors invest before the properties are ready. Right now, we've delivered some projects already this year. We're delivering another project in September this year. We have projects that will be ready next year. All the projects that will be ready this year have been totally sold out. Projects that will be ready next year are already getting sold out. We have 2024, we have 2025. So over the course of the call, we'll be introducing you to some of the projects that are available as well. You'll be getting all the materials that you need to sell, from pictures to videos and even tips. Now, before I end, I want to quickly just talk about this. Mr. Tobi will talk a little bit about more. Iyanu will share some of our experience about this, but I get a lot of questions about this, so I just want to talk about it a little bit. It's profiling your clients. How do you profile your clients? Now, our main targets are likely high net worth individuals and upcoming high net worth individuals. Now, I like to talk about the upcoming high net worth individuals because what is actually essentially required at the beginning of to buy a property in Dubai is to be able to come up with the initial 10 to 20%. Once you can come up with the initial 10 to 20%, there are long payment plans and mortgages available that can have you paying for that property for the next 10 years. So as long as you have a steady income, you can continue to pay for the property. For example, a developer. This week I spoke to a developer from Paris that wants to buy a property. He's a young guy. He's 22 years old, but he already makes $8,000 a month. Ordinarily, you would exempt him from your profile, but he's very serious about it. He was going to buy a 1 bedroom. After our call, he started to think about a 2 bedroom because he wants he's going to get married soon. He wants his wife to be able to be on the Dubai residency. So we've had even like 2 weeks ago, a 26-year-old Russian lady bought. We've had even younger people buy property in Dubai. So in Dubai, for example, if you're in Dubai, you target restaurants and experiences that HNIs enjoy having. Even in your country, in Namibia, in Ghana, in South Africa, you can target this kind of experiences as well. You can even work with people that work in hotels to get this kind of HNI list that you can use to prospect. On Instagram, on blogs, you can use things like Instagram hashtags, search for Instagram hashtags. You can search for lists, Forbes 20 over 20. You can search for top real estate agents in my country. Different kind of things that you can search for to find these potential high net worth individuals and upcoming high net worth individuals. For high salary, another category we target is high salary earners. We profile them by LinkedIn title and industry. Browser tools like Lusha. Lusha is the tool I've shared on our WhatsApp group, but if you haven't searched Google Lusha, you can ask me, text me, send me a message about Lusha. I'll send you a referral link. So browser tools like Lusha, they help you get the contact details, emails, and phone numbers easily on LinkedIn. That way you can prospect the person for a possible lead. Aspirational individuals. These people typically have plans to leave their home country to reside in a new country, or they want to diversify their investments. Some of the things that are useful to them is lifetime renewable Dubai residence visa and other advantages of having properties in Dubai. You need to have some of these things at the tip of your fingers. Someone asks you a question, why should I invest in Dubai property? You have to profile the person. Okay, what is the most important thing to this person? If it's a HNI, he probably has a second passport already, or is British or is American. So he doesn't really want to. Then you know that the things that are important to him are zero taxes on residential real estate, zero taxes on income, high ROI, 8 to 11% if they're going to use that for investments. So you begin to know that these are some of the things that are important to the person. So some of this profile that I'm giving helps you to understand what is the key thing to share with this. So you don't share everything with the potential clients. You identify their need, you identify what class they are on the profile list, and then you reach them that way. Now, the next set is deal hunters. There are people that are always looking for offers around holidays, And Dubai has a lot of these. For example, right now we have an offer. So many people are taking advantage of this offer. If a client pays 2% of the booking fee, 2% is maybe $20,000 on some properties, 10,000 plus on some properties. They can fly to Dubai. We will bring them to Dubai for free. We will put them in a hotel for 3 days, a luxury five-star hotel for 3 days, and we'll take them around Dubai. We're also giving out 50 grams of 24 karat gold, probably over $10,000 worth, to people that book property, that buy property during this period from now to Ramadan. You know, Dubai is a Muslim country, so Ramadan is when so many deals are available. Another set of people to target are politicians. Elections are approaching and a lot of tenures are ending. Politicians are looking for where to stash money in every country. Dubai is a big opportunity for this with low taxes, difficulty of extradition. A lot of politicians have properties in Dubai right now. Difficult is very difficult extradition and other very favorable things. So they can own multiple properties in Dubai. Another set of people is luxury lovers. Dubai is the luxury masterpiece. It's the ultimate luxury country. We at Sobha, we have a property called the S Tower. The S Tower goes for about $4.2 million. It's a 4-bedroom sky villa. They're like penthouses in the sky, with each coming with their own infinity pool. So much. It's like the ultimate luxury. So if you had this class of clients, you can market this property to them. Another group of people to target is new money. People that just came into affluence. Maybe they came into affluence from circumstantial things like betting, like other things. You can profile these people from Instagram hashtags. Some of them, Yahoo Yahoo, internet fraudsters, they're also looking for where to stash their money. The reality is, yes, we know. We are more, you as a salesperson, you have to be more focused on the deal that you're going to close. I'm treating everybody here as a family. So the content I'm going to be sharing is very family oriented. So you have to be able to identify these people without judging. People in clubs, you can work with clubs or bar owners in specific countries to get this kind of thing. You can work with travel and tourism companies to get this sort of information. This way you can profile this, that they're looking for where to spend their money. So you can profile them this way. So those are some of the things around profiling your clients. And I believe that once you apply some of these principles, you will be able to find the right clients. I have created so many different things like the first message to send to clients, a short message that introduces yourself and also talks about why they should buy the right property. We share this in the WhatsApp group regularly. I will share it to you once you're on the platform as well. Every other thing that you need, the sales script, other things, call training that you need, I will share all these things to you to help you. But I want you to do two things. I want you to create a prospects list, potential customer list, and a potential partners list. Potential customer list is put the name of everyone that you think you know that has money. Everyone, everyone you think you know that, okay, you don't might not directly know, but you might know through someone. Put their name on that list. The second list is potential partners. Potential partners are people that you could share your commission with. See, average commission is $20,000. $10,000 is a lot of money. In Naira today, $10,000 is about 5 million Naira. It's a lot of money. So you can share that commission with someone else. It could be a club owner, a bar owner. It could even be a bouncer that has access to this sort of clientele. It could be a real estate agent that has sold property to top people in their country. So those are the kind of people that you want. It could be your uncle, it could be your auntie, it could be someone like a long distance person. So have this list, potential clients, potential partners. This is the first way to approach. Input is very, very important. Inputs. On a daily basis, you have to be putting in the required inputs. That's the only way that you will be able to reach that target. If you're not doing the work, clients are not going to magically appear. If you're not doing the work of profiling yourself, you can have an Instagram page that is dedicated to you as a realtor, where you're sharing information, you're sharing knowledge, a different kind of content that you can share. All of these things I will share with you as well. So I want to charge you guys because I really believe in the potential of this team, both people that are on this call right now and people that will watch this recorded video. there are a lot of people that are making this money from property sales in Dubai. The next person I'm going to bring up now, Miss Iyanu Adisa. She moved to Dubai just a couple of months ago. Today, she's been in the company for over 6 months. She's been to over 5 countries. She's been to Mauritius, South Africa, Ghana, different countries just with the company based on the work that she has done. How did she get her first client? Similar strategy. She accessed the profile list and the partners list. She will be talking a lot more in-depthly. So thank you guys for listening to me. Ms. Iyanu Adisa will come on now, and then Mr. Tobi Familusi will come next. Ms. Iyanu, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Amazing. I'm just going to spotlight you now. Okay, I'm going to remove myself from the spotlight. Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us on the call, Ms. Iyanu.
Thank you. Thank you, Ifeanyi. It's really good to
You.
be here. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Okay, so I'm going to do a quick rundown of how I got into Dubai real estate, and I'm going to share 4 key tools or principles that actually help me. No, I'll say qualities that actually help me. So the first thing is I got into Dubai less than a year ago, and initially I was looking for a job for about 3 months, but then I came across Find Black Experts, and then I was on the employability summit that you had, and then I learned a lot about all sorts of things, everything I required to actually position myself for a new career here. Now, which brings me to my first point. Okay, actually my second point. I'll come back to my first point later on. But my second point, which is that information is very relevant, and I can see that most of all of us who are here are very much we're very smart people. When you have interest in something, you go for where you can find information that relates to that thing. And that's where we're all here. So I'm not going to overflog that point because I can see that all of us are inclined in that direction already. So I was looking for a job, but the important thing for me, what I did actually was that I located myself amongst
We cannot see you anymore. Okay. I think Miss Iyanu is having some slight technical difficulty, but she will be back shortly. Okay. While we wait for her, just recapping some of the things that she said. One, when she moved to Dubai, she looked for a job for about 3 months. She was on last year, I held the UAE Employability Summit. Now, she attended the summit. There were over 20 speakers on the summit. They talked about everything from positioning yourself for a new country to how to work on your resume, to how to identify potential clients and everything. And that way, they were able to, after going through that information, she was able to get a job in Dubai. So we're just waiting for her. Let's just give her a few 2 minutes before we call on the next speaker. I'm going to put myself back on spotlight. Sorry, Miss Iyanu is still having some slight technical difficulties. Just give me a second. Mr. Tobi Familusi is ready to jump on now. I'm just going to admit him, do a quick introduction, and he will continue. Okay, I see Iyanu is back now. Let me let her in. The joys of technology. Let me find her and let her back on stage. Iyanu, are you there? Okay, we can see you. Okay.
Oh, great. Sorry about that. My phone just went off. I have no idea what's charged. Okay, so I was talking about information. So I connected myself with the people that could give me information that were related to what I wanted to achieve, right? And then shortly after, Ifeanyi hosted the Employability Summit. I joined, and that was a perfect summit because everything I required to know, from resume writing to preparing for an interview to even different industries, whether you wanted to be on education, maybe real estate, everything was taken care of. But that's not the subject of our discussion today. But the key thing is locate yourself amongst people that can give you the information you require. So you're very, very connected now with Ifeanyi and this team, and we're able to hold your hand as you thrive, as you grow on your real estate brokerage journey. The next thing is collaboration, right? A very fundamental thing to working in real estate, and even working in any international environment is collaboration. Don't try to do everything by yourself. Don't try to get greedy. Don't try to want to just manage it all by yourself. Trust me, somebody always has a better perspective or even something to bring to the table. So collaborate with people, with a team, with people that have potential to actually help you grow in the direction of your goal. Then also, if I spoke about profiling, there's practically nobody that doesn't know somebody. Everybody knows one person or the other. You have social media platforms, leverage on all of that to target the potential clients that you're looking for. When you target those prospects, tell everybody who knows somebody, put it on your WhatsApp, but you never can tell where your clients would come from. But the important thing is that you need to position yourself to be in a very good network and let the people around you know that this is what you're about. This is what you do. Okay. Now, if you can do presentations, if you're good with analysis, whatever it is you know to do, leverage on it, and you'll be amazed at the outcome that you get. The third thing, which is pretty much also part of collaboration, it's more like a tip when you're collaborating, is to be tolerant. We've had several people who got into the industry and just literally either got exceptionally greedy or got, how people just like to control their own space, which could be a good thing, but it's important that you have a level of tolerance. When you get into a new industry or into a new space, there might be people who may try to, there may be some unfavorable circumstances, but the key thing for you at that time is to wait it out. Why? Because my mom always says a proverb in our language. She says that even bad people have their own days, right? So you cannot shut out your network. It's very important to expand your network and be open-minded, be tolerant, be accepting, basically. Everything doesn't have to go down your own way, right? And now, the final thing I'm going to talk about, which is pretty much the biggest thing for me, is the God factor. It is never overrated. It can never be overemphasized. I would refer to the Bible because I'm a Christian, and there's a scripture that says, trust in God, acknowledge Him in all your ways, and He will direct your path. It's very important when you pray or when you are connected with God, when you connect with Him on the subject of your dreams or your aspirations, He directs you. You may not hear a voice, I'll say, my son, or my daughter, this is the path to go. But there will be an alignment of your path. So that is my story. I have been in real estate now in Dubai for not so long, but I have achieved a lot more than people who have been here for 8 years have. You see, so and these are the key tips that I have leveraged on. Thank you very much, Ifeanyi.
Yeah.
I don't know if there are any questions or anything else you'd like me
Thank
to
you
talk
so
about.
much, Iyanu, for that amazing talk.
Thank you.
Just before Miss Iyanu leaves the call, I'm going to ask if you have any questions at this point for her about her story, about her journey. Please just ask the questions. While she was talking, Mr. Tobi Familusi entered the call. Thank you so much for joining, Mr. Tobi. So if you have any questions now, you can use the chat or you can raise up your hand and I will bring you to the stage.
There's a hand up. Babajide Shito.
Okay, Babajide, please go ahead. Let me unmute. Okay, you can unmute now.
Yeah. Good morning. Is Mrs. or Miss Iyanu?
Miss.
Miss, okay. Good morning. Yeah, have you been in real estate or business before going to Dubai, or you parted when you get to Dubai? Thank you.
Thank you. I was in real estate in Nigeria before I came into Dubai. But I have to tell you that the market is entirely different because it's almost like you're new in the game again. Because first of all, I think the standard of living in Dubai is far different from what you have back home. So you have to have a different strategy. You cannot expect to play the game the same way.
Okay, thank you for that answer.
But it's an advantage if you have. It is an advantage if you are in real estate.
Okay. Is there any other question? Any other hands?
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
So she said you can't play the game the same way, like you have to have a different strategy. So the strategy she had in Nigeria and the strategy she had in Dubai, what exactly was the difference? What did she do differently that enabled her to actually like close deals? You know, was it the amount of pressure she used in engaging with clients, or was there something she did specifically or something she says specifically that gets people interested here in Dubai? Or are there specific places that she goes to here in Dubai? Is there a particular way she looks or talks or dresses differently from when she was in Nigeria,
Okay, I like the
as
question.
opposed
Yeah,
to now that she's in Dubai?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, this
Okay,
question
thank
is
you, Nara.
I like the question. Putting you on the spot, but
I
it will be
know.
very, very valuable information.
It
Yes.
is very valid. Yeah, it is a very valid question. In Nigeria, firstly, one of the major differences with selling in Dubai is okay, so there are two major markets. You can either sell to the international market or you can sell to the local market. Okay. For me, I prefer to sell to the international market, right? And so let's say, for instance, so my target are essentially some of those kinds of people that I sold to in Nigeria, right? Versus, and also some of those, and also other people that I did not sell to in Nigeria. Okay, so let's assume previous clients versus other clients. Okay, now in Nigeria, I take you to a project, I bring you to my office, you see a live project, right? Or you see some of our projects and you see my office, you can see a building. You can actually see all those projects, face to face. But here, when I'm selling to an international client, on my first engagement, these guys are not even here. Matter of fact, all the people I've sold to are not even here. So they cannot see what I'm selling. If you can see, especially for Africans, seeing is believing. When you see something and you can touch it, you have more confidence in it. Here you don't. So you cannot attempt to have the same approach. Okay. So when you think of part of the things you have, is then you then have to do, of course, there's more analysis, there's more data support. You have to support whatever you're saying with data. You have to build the client's confidence, by, doing other things that actually show that this product is authentic. and this product will give you the value because they don't even live here. And I tell them, oh, on this property you make 100,000 dirhams per annum. What is the evidence? What is the guarantee that he will? You see, so these are the differences that you experience when you're selling products back in your home country versus when you're selling real estate back here. The second markets are those that I don't even know, right? And probably they're not even from my country, which are a lot of people I've sold to. How did I do that? Those I achieved through collaboration, through a broker or an agent or somebody who knows somebody who's influential. And I leverage on the relationship of that person. So it's pretty much relationship marketing at that point. I leverage on the relationship that that person has built to then leverage on the back of my company that, oh yeah, this company, like Ifeanyi told you, is one of the best here. We produce the highest quality. We have data to support all of that, and show you all the things that actually give you more confidence in the brand. But I will tell you that the first foundation is laid through the network of the other person, through the relationship that person has built with the client. You see, so evidently you can see that my strategy are two. I have two. The strategy I've spoken about now is a two-tier strategy. One, focusing at direct marketing, and another one at indirect sales. Direct sales and indirect sales. You see, so that is, in Nigeria, I can just call up a client and say, come to our office. It only takes them maybe 30 minutes max to come to the office. Yeah, I can't tell you fly to Dubai to come and see it. You see, so I don't know if this answers your question, but if it doesn't, you can expound on. You can tell me the areas I haven't touched.
Okay, does that answer your question, Nara?
I mean, I believe so. I feel like I've never been in real estate, although I've tried to sell a property to someone
Yeah.
that was into construction and building.
Yeah.
So I had to go there and take pictures and create content and post on my social media, and it got people interested to actually see the place. But here in Dubai, these are off-plan properties. So
Yeah.
totally. So like she said, I just have to have enough data and, direct marketing, which is actually going straight to the point, I believe.
Yeah.
Direct means being in a relationship.
Yeah.
Right?
So there are some things she talked about that. So one, she talked about data. Now, as part of data, I can also lump in track record. This is a company with track record. This is a company, the CEO started out in 1978. There's the palace in Oman. That's evidence of the work that Sobha has done. Within Sobha Heartland, the 8 million square mile community that we have, there are villas that you can personally, you are in Dubai. We visited a villa yesterday. There are other apartment buildings that we've delivered, Creek Vista Grand. There are reviews online. There's so much information, so much data. We won Developer of the Year award. That is data and track record. They should be your very good friends. The other thing she talked about is the importance of selling relationships. So if you're doing indirect marketing, you're leveraging on the relationship that someone else has with that particular person to do this. And then she also talked about, so understanding why the person is buying in the first place. Are they buying to live in it? Or are they buying because they want ROI? So the 8-11% ROI, or this is within Maidan. So all this information. So information would really help. So pretty much some of those three things. Mr. Tobi will also go a bit deeper into this particular side of the conversation. So I'm sure your questions will be answered even a bit more. Yeah? Okay. So I'm going to take just one more question before we move to Mr. Tobi. There's one more question from anyone. We'll take that question before we move to Mr. Tobi. Any other question? Or did this last conversation just answer all the questions? Okay. At this point, there's no other question. So thank you so much, Ms. Iyanu, for that really amazing
Thank you for having me.
Session. You look great, by the way. I'm
Thank
very
you.
happy to see how profitable Dubai real estate is for you. And I really hope that you get some of the people on this call to begin to enjoy those benefits as well. Thank you so much.
I look forward to that too. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to bring up to the stage Mr. Tobi Familusi. He has over 5 years experience in Dubai real estate. He has over 10 years experience in high-level banking in Nigeria. He's worked with some of the biggest developers in the UAE. He has so much information to share on the value of real estate, on mindset and mentality, as well as going in depth into product knowledge. So whatever questions that you have, bring up your books, start to write, because there's a lot about to be so much. Mr. Tobi Familusi, are you there? Hello, Mr. Tobi.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I mistakenly muted you. Can you unmute yourself again? Okay, amazing.
All right.
Yeah, we cannot see your video. Okay, let me find you and pin you the video. Okay. Yes, you can start speaking.
Yes. I just want to be sure everyone can see.
We can hear you, but we will see you shortly.
Okay.
Now we can see.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's good to see well, I can't really see everyone, but it's good to have everyone here, every real estate enthusiast joining us for this amazing session. I'm sure you guys are caught up in a lot of information shared by Ifeanyi and so far. I will just, as much as possible, try to not be ambiguous and not be too technical. I'll be as simple as possible. And I would like to share a few things, then I'll go into some little details, because the truth of the matter is we can't capture everything, about Dubai real estate markets and Sobha Realty in this video. But my job here is to spur somebody on to actually start selling real estate, because that's one of the best things you can do for yourself to make money for such a time as this. You will need to understand that selling real estate is one of the critical ways to actually generate wealth for yourself. And I'm going to be talking from, experience and the things that I've had to figure out on my own. Well, when I say on my own, I don't mean without help. I mean with the help of some books as well, and with the help of the experience I've got working with different developers. And I've had to just put them in a small, box, which I have created as a rule that I've been following for over 2.5 years now, and I've been seeing the results. So I'm just going to share them with you, and I hope somebody's going to hear these things and begin to be motivated to understand that first, anyone can sell, and second, everyone can sell. Okay. So I will just get right into it. And now, like I said, I have this rule I've created for myself for over 2.5 years now that I've been following, and I've seen the results, following this rule, this set of rules. It's actually happening. But before I go into that, I want everyone here to first consider themselves as a seed, and what a seed is that small thing, many times or oftentimes, that small thing that looks negligible or looks like it's got nothing. But at the end of the day, when that seed is put into the right ground, once it's buried into the right ground, it comes out many years later as a tree. So the question is, how did that small thing become so big? It's because it went into the right ground. It's because it went through the right watering, because it got the right nutrients. It was fed, and eventually became a giant tree. Not just becoming a giant tree, but becoming a giant tree of great value, of economic value. For example, the tree becoming wood that can be used to create tables and chairs. The tree becoming something that can be used to generate paper. The fruits becoming food. The branches becoming shade. So it becomes something of great value. And that's everyone that is here listening to me, not listening to my voice, that you are a seed, but if you go into the right ground, you become a tree in sales, in real estate sales, and you begin to generate immense value for yourself. And that's pretty much what we're here to do today, to realize the potential that is in that seed that can bring great value, great economic value to you, to everyone around you. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today, the fact that you're a seed. So if you go into the right ground, if you as a seed go into the right ground, I sound like a preacher, forgive me. If you go into the right ground, you can actually come out and become great economic value for yourself. You can start making massive impact with the money you're going to make. That means that if I can inject some things into you and you can begin to take those things, you will begin to crack those sales and those deals that would give you great value and bring other people great value. So I created something called the casket rule. Casket. It sounds weird, right? Yeah, it's casket, something that we use to bury people, But except the seed is buried, you can't see, the potential in the seed at all. You can't see the tree. The seed has to go to the ground before you can see the tree. So that's the same thing. We need to have something that gets us to get nutrients, deep nutrients, so that we can become the potential that we want to become in sales. So I created something called the casket rule, which has been something that I've been following for myself over a couple of years, and it's been working. And it's simply an acronym, CASKET. It's an acronym, and I'm going to share with you the meanings of those words in that word casket, and we're going to take them one after the other. And I hope that every of these words, of the words in the acronym, will touch questions, unanswered questions on how you can be cracking those multi-million dirhams worth of sales in the Dubai real estate market. So let's start with the casket. Casket is spelled CASKET. If somebody can help me type it there, it will be type it on Zoom. It will be very good so that people who don't lose track of what I want to say. If you can help me. So I'll start with the word C. Now, but first, before we go into what CAS is, what is the casket rule? I define the casket rule as I define the casket rule as a mix of abstract and tangible attributes you must have as a salesperson to reap maximum benefits in the field of sales. I'll say that again. It's a mix of abstract and tangible attributes you must have as a salesperson to reap maximum benefits in the field of sales. Those things that seem like people don't really notice about you, and those things that you seem to have, that are noticeable, is a mix of those things, a proper matrix of those things that allows you to reap the maximum benefit as a salesperson. Because the first thing you must know about sales is about the individual. It's not really about the product. It's not really about the market. It's not really about how gigantic or how beautiful the product is. Yes, those things are there. Those things are important as well. But the most important thing about sales is about the person, who you are. These what you're selling, So let's take it from C. Okay, now, I like to term C, or I term C as confidence/courage. Confidence/courage. Now, first things first, you cannot sell a property, for example, in Sobha property, a Dubai property, a one-bedroom apartment that sells for as low as $300,000. You can't even mention it, okay, to someone who is buying real estate, a one-bedroom apartment, or let's say three-bedroom duplex, for example, in Nigeria, but by $450,000. You can't sell that idea or that concept to that person if you've got no form of confidence or courage at all. So the first thing you need to do with yourself. Did someone say something now?
No. I'll mute the person now. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You can't even sell the idea if you're not even confident enough. Talk less of trying to even go further and trying to even close the deal, because closing the deal is a different thing entirely. But how do you sell a one-bedroom apartment of about $300,000, even though we know that the maximum benefits behind that $300,000 worth of property is better than that $150,000 worth of property in Nigeria? Even though we know the benefits are, benefits of the 300,000 is better than 150,000. But because of the price difference alone, that 300,000 is going to sell one bedroom to you here in Sobha. And you're going to take half of it to buy like a 4 or 5 bedroom duplex in Lekki or somewhere. How do you sell that? Confidence is the first thing that you need. And confidence comes from knowledge. I'm going to get into that. Confidence comes from your own ability. If you are not confident, you are going to be doing yourself a great disservice in the business of sales, because you by yourself will start having objections Like, how would I even tell this guy he should buy a property of 300,000 when he can buy 2 or 3 of that in Lekki or Banana Island or somewhere, for example? You start dealing with the objections by yourself. So if you're not confident enough, then there's a problem. Confidence is that attire that you wear that people are automatically drawn to. It's not necessarily something that people physically see, but it's something that somebody can feel. So if you're not confident, then that's the first problem. So this is, and the truth of the matter is that a lot of prospects, when they see salespeople that are not confident, they know about this, and you see this when the prospects are asking questions. For example, why should I buy a property of $200,000 for 1 bedroom when I can just buy like 2 or 3 of those units back in my own country and be comfortable in a place where I know what's going on, I know about the economy, I know about what's going on. Why should I bring it to a country that I really don't know anything about? I'm not even a resident. I'm not even, sometimes it's not even about the knowledge behind the answer, but the fact that you're confident enough to know that this is the right product for this person based on your own ability, it transposes you from having that person as a prospect to that person being an actual client. So confidence and courage is very, very key. So if you are going to sell in Dubai real estate market and you're going to sell Sobha property, the first thing you must have is you must have confidence in yourself and you must be courageous enough to be able to speak about this product as though you yourself can buy the product, even though you can't buy it in that time or you can't buy it yet. Because the expectation is that you make so much money and even you yourself can afford to buy one of those properties. So that's very, very important. You must be confident in yourself because you have no business in any sales job if you're not confident. If you can't speak to people, if you're shy, if you're timid, if you can't speak to people, then you're not in the business, you should not be in the business of sales. If you can't talk to some, I've heard people say, how can I sell when I can't talk to people? You're right. Because sales is about talking to people. Sales is about meeting people. So if you're shy, you're timid, then you can't sell. If you go to parties and you find a lot of high net worth individuals there, and you're not the type that knows how to approach people, then you have no business selling. So this is a call for someone to actually talk to himself and self that, the kind of product I'm selling would need me to begin to develop some level of confidence in myself, and getting out of my comfort zone in the ability to speak to people rather than being timid or shy so that I can make money. A closed mouth is a closed destiny. If you don't open your mouth and talk to people about what you want to sell or what you're selling, they're always going to buy it. Sales is simple. You speak, somebody responds. And the response could be yes or no, depending on how you say it, how you put it together, and because all the things I'm going to touch on later. But confidence is very, very important for you to be able to sell products. So that's the first thing we're going to talk about on C. Now, the next thing is A, which is analysis. And I'm just going to dwell a little bit longer here because on analysis, I would prefer to call it need analysis. Need analysis. Analysis, of course, ability to compare things together. Compare A and B. Why should I buy A and B? Analysis is the ability to look into your client and look at what your client needs. You're analyzing based on what he's saying. You compare his speech, to his body language. That's analysis. Comparing things with things. That's analysis. This is very, very crucial. And like I said, we should term it more like need analysis because need analysis is the ability to X-ray a prospect to find needs and wants. The ability to X-ray a prospect. You got to just put that prospect in the X-ray and look at his needs and his wants. And that's after you must have confidently spoken to him and you brought him to the table of conversation. The next thing you need to do is to analyze him. What does this guy really want? What does this woman really want? Why is she attending to me where this product is concerned? And that's where your analysis comes in. You need to be able to X-ray this client. You need to be able to look at the client, the prospect, and say, what does this person need? And you have to actually give him a reason to buy and an excuse to buy. See, sales is 90% emotional, 10% logic. People always want a reason to buy what they're buying. There is a reason. Whatever the reason is, you need to be able to analyze it and pull it out from the prospect. There's always a need to buy. The person just wants to buy. Some people want to buy for ROI. Not everybody wants to buy property in Dubai for ROI. I know that's a general pitch you use, where Dubai offers 8% ROI. Yeah, logic, 8%. But not everybody wants to buy property for ROI. Some people want to buy property for lifestyle. Some people want to buy property for status. They want to tell people that I've got property in Dubai. Some people want to buy for status amongst their, the class of people they roll with. They want to go to tell them, oh, I have property in Dubai as well. So some people want to have those things, those are some people's needs. Not everybody wants the paper and pen, and wants you to calculate the return on investment. Some people might pretend that that's what they want, and that's when your analysis comes in. You'll be able to know whether this guy really, really wants ROI or he needs ROI, because needs and wants are different. But both of them, you must be able to analyze the perspective to get both of them out so that you can nip it in the bud at the need level, so that you can close that client at a need level. So you need to be able to X-ray your client. So analysis is very important for your client. You need to be able to have that, from you to him or from you to her. You need to be able to bring out what exactly they want. For example, I'll give an example. Why do people buy fancy cell phones, like the high-tech cell phones? I'm sure some of you will say, maybe they want to. What's the reason, as a matter of fact, why people buy it? It's because they want high-tech products. They want something to show that they've got something better. Because as far as I'm concerned, an iPhone 11 could be the same as iPhone 12. Maybe. I think so. Because I use 11 Pro. But yeah, maybe the camera quality in 12 Pro is a little bit better than 11 Pro. But I still make calls with 11. But you see, some people want to upgrade from that 11 Pro to 12 Pro. And one of the major reasons why people do is for lifestyle. It's not because they necessarily need a 12 Pro, but the market, Apple's market will continually increase because they've been able to identify people's needs. People always want high-tech phones. So there's always an excuse, and they'll give an excuse that, oh, I just want to be more convenient. I just want to communicate better. I want communication to improve. The same apps that we have on 11 Pro are the same apps on 12 Pro. But you see, people still go ahead and buy 12 Pro. You see the long queue in Dubai Mall when the new Apple phone is about to be released. You see the long queue. They're wondering, this guy is also having, they have the one that just came out last year. It's just about a year, So Apple has been able to identify it, and that's why they are still selling. So if you can identify the fact that somebody wants something for a certain reason, and it can give him an excuse to buy it, he's going to buy it. So you have to be able to look into the person's needs, and you have to analyze it properly so that you can be able to take him from being a prospect to now a potential client, because this is very important. So how do you take him from all these things? How do you get out the needs? How do you get out the wants? How do you give him reasons and excuses to buy? Probe. You probe. You ask questions. You ask questions that draw out emotional response. Because like I said, sales is emotional. You've got to ask questions that will draw an emotional response. You've got to be able to ask those questions that make him actually respond to you based on what he feels deep down as to why he wants to buy it. And those questions are things that you're going to have to find out. You're going to have to do a lot of listening, because I told you sales is about talking, but sales is more about listening than talking. You speak less, but listen more. Because if you do so much talking, you lose the chance of actually getting to know what this client really wants. You should write that down, actually, if you've got pen and paper. You should write that down. Sales is more about listening than talking. Because if you don't listen, you don't know the questions to ask. You don't know the right questions to ask. So you've got to listen more than you talk more. I know most of you are excited to sell, and most of you will be excited to sell after this webinar. But what should be more important is that you should go and you should listen more to your prospect. After you must have introduced yourself and introduced your product, give the prospect an opportunity to speak back to you, and give yourself an opportunity to listen more so that you can begin to know how to probe and ask questions that will draw up an emotional response so that you can find needs and wants for that customer and analyze the needs and wants and see where you can bring him to the place of need and know how you can then convert him from a prospect to a potential client. So this is how you get your client to move from A to B real quick. Listen more than you speak. Because if you listen more than you speak, you probe better. When you probe better, you're going to find those needs out. You find those wants out, and you begin to ask some questions that will eventually drop an emotional response. And you are closer to getting that sale than you ever think. Yeah. So I move away from analysis and I move to the next thing, which is X, which is strategy. Now that you know the needs and wants, what strategy? Now that you know the reasons and excuses that is got, for buying the property, what's the strategy? What's the plan of action? Strategy is a plan of action. It's an action plan. You have to be able to know how you are going to get this guy to then buy the property. That's his plan of action. You don't go to battle without a plan of action. You've got to be able to know, how do I get this guy to eventually close this sale within a time frame? Because one thing that is very important about strategy is time frame. Time frame. Now, time frame doesn't mean you've got to rush this customer. Time frame means you've got to give yourself a deadline to be able to see how you can close the sale. Sales is about deadline. The reason for having deadline is not because you want to eagerly close the sale now. It's because naturally sales can go cold. The client can become cold, automatically cold. So you've got to keep the fire burning, and you can only keep the fire burning for so long, but not for too long. So if you keep the fire burning for more than 2 months, you're good. If you keep the fire burning for 3 months, 6 months, you're good. But naturally speaking, or psychologically speaking, you can only keep the fire burning between 3 days to 3 weeks. And that doesn't mean that you don't get to do some sales after 3 weeks. No. That means that you have to know how, that's the next thing that's one of the last things I'm going to discuss with you, which is follow-up. Even though you didn't get the sale done between 3 days to 3 weeks, you can keep doing follow-up to see how you can fan the flame again and see how you can get the client back to where you started from. But you need to give yourself a timeline. And that's one of the things about strategy. Strategy has timeline. Strategy is not just a plan of action to start and finish till forever, until infinity, to start and finish at the second time. So one of the important elements in strategy is time frame. You need to give yourself a time frame. When I'm seeing this guy, set up a meeting, put it on your calendar, be intentional about it. You have to know these things. I know that these things are simple, they are simple things we shouldn't be discussing, but these are the simple things that get you to actually get a sale done. If I am going for a sales trip, I know when I'm going. Even though I don't have all the clients or all the channel partners available at my beck and call, I already have a strategy to get those people and to get the sale. Strategy is about deadlines, it's about timelines, it's about the value you're expecting from this. Now, you may not get 100% of all of these things, but at least give yourself a chance to score 50% in terms of the deadline, in terms of the timeline, and in terms of the amount. So you need to be able to know exactly what amount I want to get from this guy. How do I get this guy to pull? What do I need to tell him? You will know when you set up, an appointment time with the customer. You will know when you set up, a timeline for yourself to get it done. You will know when eventually, the kind of products, because we're talking about strategy now, the options of products to offer this customer. Shall I offer him, this guy, I've been able to understand that he wants to just buy a property because he just wants to relax in Dubai. He doesn't want anybody to be in that property. I've heard countless customers tell me that I'm not interested in rent. I just want to buy a property so that anytime I'm in Dubai, I have a place to stay. He's not even interested in ROI. So that means I don't need to go and start doing calculations for the guy to start finding out what is the return on investment. I can have that as an added advantage, which is what I'm going to come to later, at the end of this seminar. I can have that as an added advantage for the guy to close the deal. But what is critical is I should be able to have a strategy that answers that immediate need. I want a property that anytime I am in Dubai, I just want a place where I can stay so that I don't, think about having hotels, paying for hotels. So what strategy are you going to use for that guy? How do I get this guy to come to that place? Now, I can begin to tell you a couple of things, but you see, not all customers are the same. And this is why sometimes it's good to know your customers before you even set up the meeting. Know his likes, know his dislikes. If he likes football, if he's going to be at a football game, meet him after football in that place. But make sure he's seen 1 week the game, because you don't want to discuss investment with a guy who supports Man in this time. Sorry, just cast aside. But you have to know exactly what this guy likes, and that's one of the things you must have done in the need analysis. You must have known exactly this guy's a fan of football, because those things will come up in conversations if you listen. you know. But the strategy is now how to bring him from that place to how you can actually then get into his world and see how you can get him what he wants without even being able to give an excuse as to the fact that, okay, I don't think I can do this. Strategy helps you to know where to go for the jugular, where and when to go for the jugular. That's where and when to go for the sale. So these things you need to have, and you need to be able to have that on your mind once you are doing the need analysis, because the next thing you need to then have is strategy, and that strategy is going to plunge you to the next level. Okay. Now, part of strategy, which is the next thing, you know, I'm going to talk about is knowledge, which is the K, like the K word, which is knowledge. Now, knowledge is very important. I could say it's as important as strategy. Knowledge is very important, and I could say it's as important as strategy because they go together. If you don't have knowledge, you don't know the kind of products to offer the guy based on his need and based on the need analysis you've done, and the product offering would be the strategy you want to use to close them, the options of the product offering. You know, so if you don't have knowledge, one in product, then you have shortchanged yourself because then you don't know how to bring him in, you know, into that place of, you know, all of his needs and wants, putting it into some product options for him to choose, but the one that fits, you know, his lifestyle the most. You must have product knowledge. That's the first type of knowledge you need to have. There's also something called industry knowledge. You know, what the industry, real estate market is all about. And I'm not talking about Dubai, because one of the things you're going to face is people actually comparing, you know, the knowledge, the real estate markets in Nigeria to real estate markets in Dubai, just like Iyanu was trying to answer the question, what you should do differently from the real estate market when she was in real estate market in Nigeria compared to real estate market in Dubai. Industry knowledge is very important. You know, you need to have that industry knowledge so that when you are going to speak about your own product, you need to be able to at least be able to relate to yourself and give an advantage or advantages of your own product over the product in that other industry, or the advantage of this industry, not product now, this industry, the market in this industry over the market in the other industry. For example, each time I'm going on a sales trip to a different country, I always like to find out what are the advantages, you know, of the real estate market in that particular country compared to real estate markets in Dubai. So that when the objection comes up in terms of, for example, why should I buy 300,000 dirhams worth of property, $300,000 worth of property in Dubai for one bedroom when I can get like 2 units of semi-detached duplexes in Lekki? Why should I do that? And the next thing I'm going to be telling you would be an answer based on the industry knowledge. Based on industry knowledge. Industry knowledge will tell you that inflation and devaluation in Africa is ridiculous. And you moving your money out right now to buy real estate, even though it's one bedroom, is saving you from being poor because your $150,000 conversion in Naira is going to become about 100,000 in the next 1-2 years. But if you take that 300,000, if you stretch yourself and take that 300,000 and you take it outside of Dubai and you buy a one bedroom, and when you want to exit out of that investment, maybe in the next 5-6 years, that 300,000 will probably have become $450,000 because the property values have appreciated, because property value is appreciating in Dubai and the currency is pegged to the dollar. You know, it's $1 to 3.67. So by the time the money is coming back in Naira, you would have saved your money from the snares of inflation and devaluation. You know, so your money is still strong when it comes back to you. So rather than losing your money when you keep it in a property in your own country, why not take that money out and invest in a property in a stable economy so that you can keep your money and you can still be wealthy and you can still be rich? So that's industry knowledge. That's helping you to exactly know how to tell this customer, listen, you're just going to get poor in the next 5 years because we know where Nigeria is going. Sorry, I'm just saying it. Based on what we've seen, by the way. You know? So this can help you. Industry knowledge is very critical. And it's pretty much a similar case in Africa, because I know I'm talking to Nigerians as well. And I'm not talking to Nigerians only. I'm talking to a lot of Africans here. You have to have this industry knowledge. Know what's going on in your home country. Know what's going on in other countries. You know, a lot of Europeans are investing outside of Europe right now because of the Russia-Ukraine crisis. And that's because of oil, Russia's oil. Russia contributes 7% of global oil. Imagine. Alone. So if 7% is done for, then there's a problem in Europe. A lot of people who have invested in stock and shares who want to start selling their stocks in oil and want to start investing in tangible assets, which is real estate. So we're seeing a lot of buyers come to Dubai. What is the natural economy? Industry knowledge. You need industry knowledge. It helps you. This is not something you get over time. This is not something you get, in a moment. You get it over time. And this is because you're committed and dedicated to actually knowing stocks for yourself. You've got to read books. You've got to keep your ears on the ground. Watch news. Check out some things. Don't just do only Instagram for fashion and lifestyle only. Try to get some stuff on that same social media that helps you to sell better. Okay, so industry knowledge is also important. Pricing knowledge. Pricing knowledge is also important. Can you justify to that prospect that the price of what you're offering is exactly the price? Why is your own property that is in Mohammed bin Rashid City expensive, and a property, a developer just across you is selling the property, apartments as well, but for a lower price? Why? Can you justify why your own price is different? Pricing knowledge. You need to be able to know, because people develop, some clients will come up to you with Dubai information as well. So don't think because they're international clients, they don't know about Dubai real estate. Some of them are aware. They'll say, but there's a property in Abuja and it's costing, one bedroom costs 600,000. Why is your own one bedroom costing 1.3 million? Why? You need to be able to explain it. You need to be able to tell them that the quality of our products alone is different. What we use for their quality control is tier 1, we use tier 3. What we use for our products in terms of the finishing is high quality. Can you give an example? Yes. For example, the flooring of Sobha, I'm just saying, and this is real, by the way, the floor layering of Sobha is 6 layers because it contains waterproof and soundproofing system. You only find that in 5-star hotels. You don't find that in any form of residential apartments. Why are you people doing all of that to stress yourself? Because we don't want you to spend more on the long run on maintenance. Because if you have that, you spend less on maintenance. But what you think is the cost of buying a property that is cheaper, on the long run, you would have doubled or tripled the cost because you'd have spent more on maintenance, and you would have even gone beyond the cost that Sobha is selling an initial 1-bedroom offer to you. So this is one thing you must have: pricing knowledge. You must be able to look at your customer in the eye and tell him that, listen, what you're buying in the long run is going to cost you double the amount of what I'm trying to sell to you now in the next 2 years. Wow, such a good system. Yes, because you know about what this person is offering in terms of what they're offering in their products, and you know especially what you're offering in your product that has made your product that expensive, or rather, that is giving your product that kind of price compared to what the other person is offering. Which then brings me to competitor knowledge. Know about your competitors. If you want to sell Sobha, why are you selling Sobha? Why do you prefer to sell Sobha to that client? You need to have a bit of an information of competitor knowledge, because that helps you. That helps you to be able to tell them that, I know you're interested in buying this particular product called Azizi or this particular product called Dema, but this is what they have, this is what they do, this is why Sobha is preferred to them. You need to tell them, because, like I said, some prospects are already aware about the Dubai real estate market, and they tell you, but Damak is selling at this price. Damak just launched something called Damak Lagoons. I would prefer to buy that townhouse. Fine, it's okay, go ahead and buy it. But if you're willing to stay 4 to 6 years to take possession of your property, that's all fair and square. And they say, how come you're saying that with so much confidence? Because we know that developer is used to delaying their products. But if you want to know anything about Sobha, one of the major USPs, unique selling point of Sobha, is speed of construction. We don't delay, because we're the only backward integrated company. So if you want to buy a property and you want to get the exact property handed over to you at a specified time that we have told you, then this is the developer to go with, especially for the party that wants to deliver the property with high quality. Industry knowledge, competitor knowledge, very, very important. And the final kind of knowledge you need to have, application knowledge, how to apply the importance of your product to that customer to get him to close. Why you should go for this particular product. Why are you offering this particular one? Why did we give you these particular options? That's because you have been able to do careful need analysis. You have been able to understand exactly what his needs are, his wants are, and you have offered him those kind of products to actually apply those products to what he wants, his lifestyle. It's very important. So knowledge is very important, not just product knowledge. Industry knowledge is important. Pricing knowledge, competitor knowledge, and application knowledge. Those kinds of knowledge, all those types of knowledge are very, very important. Now, E, which is the next letter, is execution, or otherwise known as closing. Now that you know all of these things, you've got all the information. Now it's time to close the customer. Closing itself is a different, like it's a whole chapter on its own. I've said in Iyanu one day, I said some people are very good at prospecting, but they fail to get the deal done because they can't close. Closing is totally different. In fact, some people are natural closers. I don't know if you guys watch Suits. There's a guy called Harvey Specter. I like him a lot, by the way. People don't like him. I don't care. I like him because he's the greatest closer in New York. Legally speaking, law. He closes. He wins cases. He doesn't bother himself about prospecting or getting people to come. He just gets them to sign a contract, to sign the deal. This is when you ask for the order. After the customer, you and the customer, you've interacted, you've listened, you've understood his needs, you've analyzed it, you've strategized on how to close him, you've given him your knowledge, the knowledge of your product, of the industry. You've brought him to the table of like, okay, and you notice that this guy is satisfied, because that word is very important. Need satisfaction. This guy is satisfied with everything that you've said, because a lot of people jump into closure without actually understanding that the customer is not satisfied or the prospect is not satisfied. Once you have understood that the customer is satisfied, you probably feel satisfaction doesn't have to be 100%, 10%, 15%, 20% satisfaction is fine. You can bring it from that 20% satisfaction to 100% satisfaction at the table of closing. So it's fine. Once you have understood that the customer is satisfied, ask for the order. How many units do you want? What are you going for, this one or this one? Ask for the order, because asking for the order is what initiates the closing remarks. I love to see the word closing remarks, execution, because we're not just doing all of this for fun. Execution is that's almost the last stage to do the sale. So you've got to close. You've got to get the guy to close, and closure is asking for the order. You've got to know whether he or she is satisfied. Then you've got to close. And this is where you now begin to pull up the offers. Now, it is a lot of people do this, which I think is a misnomer in sales. People pull up offers at the beginning of sales. See, you can get away with it in every aspect of business, of sales business, but not in real estate. If you give somebody an offer or a discount at the beginning of the sales pitch, then the chances are you've opened up yourself to the customer taking over the conversation to asking you for the order rather than you asking for the order. For example, you give the customer 10% at the beginning of the conversation of sales, not at the closing stage. The customer then begins to ask you, if you give me 20%, then it begins to toy with you. Give me 25%. Starts asking for ridiculous, offers. Give me 35% and I'll get the deal done. Then you start showing desperation because you give him the offer at the beginning. Like I said, these are the rules that I have personally followed. Now, it may not work for everyone. Some people get the sales done when they initiate the offer at the beginning, fine. But most times, for me, it's backfired. So I decided to always keep the offers to the end. I mean, the offers that are juicy, I'm not talking about the standard offers. For example, off-plan. Naturally, when you're buying off-plan, you're paying in installments. So that's not an offering. But what type of payment plan are we talking about? Post-handover payment plan, for example. For example, in Sobha, we offer something called post-handover payment plan on some properties, which means that you can take possession of the property and keep paying for the property after a period. That kind of offer, I like to hold it towards the end and tell them, this is an off plan. What I can do for you, if you go ahead and sign this order right now, is that I'll give you 2 years, 1 year to pay for the property after you have, taking possession of the property at a certain amount, maybe 50% payment in installment. I was like, oh, 1 year. Oof, that may be too steep. What can I do? Blah, blah, blah. All right, I'll give you an offer that is irresistible. How about 2 years? Final offer. You see, that is already part of the package from the beginning. But see, I introduced it at the last stage to get him to commit to that product. Because if you don't give this guy something to take, he's probably going to, if you give him everything at the beginning, then he loses communication with you. And sometimes he takes all that information to somebody else who has not done the job, who has not even spoken to the client, someone else that you work in Sobha, okay, I just want to buy this property. These are all the offers I've been given. Is this correct? The person says yes. Okay, book me 2 units. And you're like, I just lost the deal. Yeah, because you said everything. You said too much. You didn't listen at the beginning, and you offered me what you were supposed to keep at the end to help you close the deal. So this is where you pull up the offers. Closing is about pulling up offers. Now at Sobha, we don't offer discounts, but you can strategically put things in to make it actually look like an offer, which is already there. But I'll give an example. I'll give another example. We have something called hospitality package, which we do for customers who deposit 2%, who make 2% payment of their property, who book the property with 2% of the property value. What hospitality package says is they get visas to Dubai, tickets, economic class tickets, and 3 days stay in a 5-star hotel to Dubai to come see their property and finalize it, which is to give them a level of comfort. Now, I could put that in as an offer. Like, I know you're a bit uncomfortable about buying something you have not seen or a company that you have not even interacted with physically. But what I'll tell you is, if you make a 2% deposit or commitment to this property, I will fly you to Dubai. Now, when you say it like that, you guys are going to feel like, yo, you're flying. Yeah, you need to sound like an authority. Closure is about making authoritative statements within the confines of the things you already have authority to give. Which then brings me to the concept of tonality, your voice. This is the most underestimated tool in sales. Tonality, that's not T, that's not T. T is not tonality. I'm just saying T is part of, T is part of closure. You know, T is not tonality, you know. Your tonality, your voice, it's one of the most underestimated tools in sales. Some people don't know how to sound at the table of closure. I'm like, please now, when are you going to close this deal? You have lost it, you sounding like that. You need to be able to understand how to sound in that moment, especially when you know you've got arms to close the client. You see some people at the table of closure, you're saying, why is this so arrogant? No, everybody says I'm expected is arrogant. I don't think so. I think he knows his onion, and I think he knows what to say to get you to close. His tone, his words. You don't need to watch Suits. I'm just kidding. But I'm saying this helps you. You need to be able to know how to sound soft, not to go hard. You need to know when to do it, when to say it. You know, read the room, basically, because this one I can't really tell you, you must sound like this. No, read the room. In some cultures, if you sound in a certain way, they say you're shouting your room. So read the room. As I said, need analysis is very important. You must analyze the customer so that you know exactly how to talk. But please, always know you can sound authoritative without being disrespectful. You've got to know that. And that's just speaking based on the confines of the authority already given to you. The company has already offered hospitality package, you pay 2%. Don't bring it in the beginning. Tell them, you feeling uncomfortable, I'll do you one better. You know what? Give me 2% deposit and I'll fly you to Dubai next week. Clear your schedule and come. And add a bit of product information too. What if I come to Dubai and I don't like the property? What happens to my 2%? What I will do for you is deduct your trip fare from that and give you your balance. You see, you have empowered yourself to get this guy to close by actually making him feel he's got nothing to lose. This is what closure is about. Getting that prospect to understanding he's buying an investment for himself and he's got absolutely nothing to lose. Of course, there's always risk in any form of investment because he's making the best decision for himself. Whether for return on investment, whether for lifestyle, he's making a worthy investment. This is what closure is all about. It's not about saying it, but saying it in the right tone, in the right way, and using the right words. All right. Then the final T, which is not tonality, it's called total package. I'm just going to say this in the best way I can. You have to look like what you sell. You have to look like what you sell. You know, you can't sell luxury real estate and look like you are begging. I'm talking about your appearance. Strike it. I'm talking about your physical appearance. Physical appearance, in fact, physical appearance is 50% sales. I've seen people say, I dress for myself. Okay, if you're in sales, don't dress for yourself. Dress to attract, not just impress. Dress to attract prospects. Dress, because prospecting can be done anywhere. So I'm not saying you must wear suit and tie. That's not what I'm saying. I came to the office, that's what I'm doing this. If I didn't come to the office and if I didn't have to face you probably not see me suit and tie. I don't wear this to sleep. Neither would I wear this to a party, some parties, But dress to attract. If you're in the business of sales, which I believe some of you would be from today, you need to always be conscious that you are going out, even if you're going to party, you're going to, church, mosque, wherever. Of course, there are some places they have things that you must wear, but even in those things that you must wear, try as much as possible to be the most elegant person in the room, because prospecting starts just by the way you dress and continues from the way you speak. And that's what total package. Total package is your total appearance. You've got to look it. You've got to look like what you sell. People don't want to talk to somebody that doesn't look like. How can you say you're selling luxury and you don't even look like it? How can you tell somebody you want to sell a $300,000 from the time they look at you like, do you know what you just called? You need to literally look like it. You need to appear like this. I'm not saying go and start spending your money on luxury brands. By all means, if you have the money, please. But make sure you put them together properly. Don't put Gucci here, and LV here, just because you want to show that you know not to. That's not what I mean. Don't look like a masquerade trying to sell a house. People run away from masquerades. People are attracted by masquerades. But look the part. Whatever that means to you, whatever you know it means, look the part, because that is where 50% of sales is actually done. From the way you look, from the way you appear, then from the way you speak. Some of you, just look it. It's not, I'm not trying to tell you break the bank, but look it. I'm trying not to say some stuff, but I'm sure you all understand what I'm trying to say. Look the part, And I like what social media is doing right now. Social media can help you look like what you are not. So use that as a tool and make sure that when you're going to eventually physically see the prospects, whatever you did, but that's, on those pictures, make sure you do it and physically represent it. Because trust me, human beings are naturally attracted by what they see first. That's why people package the product in a certain way. Those people package the product in a certain way. I mean, even groceries, it's packaged in a certain way. There's a psychology behind color, there's psychology behind shape, psychology behind everything, because those are physical attributes that people are attracted to. If you don't do those things to yourself, you're just shortchanging yourself. I'm not saying I'm not saying sell your body. I'm saying sell yourself. There's a balance. Sell yourself. And one of the fastest ways to sell yourself is to look in a certain way. Dress the part. This should be the first thing, but let's just take it to the last. Confidence goes with when you dress well. When you dress well, you can often speak better. Like, okay, I like what I'm wearing. But if you're not comfortable in what you're wearing, you're probably not able to talk to somebody. Dress well, smell good, do those things. Walk into a room and let people look at you and tell them, and when the conversation starts, know when you can then bring in what you do, what you sell. Which reminds me, if you're a channel partner here and you're registered with us, do yourself a business card and put Sobha channel partner there. Not that you're an employee of Sobha, but it's Sobha channel partner. So that after the exchange or after the conversation, there can be an exchange of cards, which takes you to that extra professional level. Mesmerize your prospect from the beginning. Can I say? Let your prospect feel in a certain way from the beginning, so that at the end of the day, once you are giving him the offers, he's like, you know what, I'm going to go for it. Because why? Sales is 90% emotional and 10% logic. So this is a casket rule that I have followed or been following for more than 2.5 years now, and it's been giving me the numbers. And I'm being very honest and transparent with you. These rules are there, And I also want to recommend you guys to go and read the book Selling 101 by Zig Ziglar. You find some of the things I've said, in that book. If you can lay your hands on a lot of Zig Ziglar's sales books, please do. It will help you understand a lot of things I've said here better. Now, just one more thing about total package and prospecting. Now, when you dress in a certain way, before somebody asks me the questions, because I know some of you are going to ask me, what if the men, especially the ladies, are going to ask me, the people that are coming, what if they're not really coming to buy property? It's a rule, even for men, us men, we face the same thing too. You will always attract bees and houseflies. It's a rule. You always attract them. Both of them make the buzzing sound. But you should be able to know the one that is a bee and one that is a housefly. The one that is a bee would always want to get you to be productive. You find out that you're actually doing a lot of productive things to get the deal done. But the one that is a housefly would just wasting your time. Bees attract, honey. They make honey. Houseflies, they put a lot of dirty things together, and they're attracted by funny things. So So don't get yourself bothered about the fact that, a lot of people are talking to me. Out of that buzzing sound, you will know the one that is a bee and the one that is an housefly. The one that is a housefly. The one that is a bee will get you so productive. You find that they are going back, doing research, trying to find out to close the client, intentionally. That's what will make you feel like, or he or she will make you feel like. But the housefly will just be wasting time. You know your time is over. Okay? So these are some of the things that you need to know and set for yourself as a rule if you wish to be successful in sales, And I'm just going to go into a bit of some things, which are some of the offers we've got in Sobha, because we've got products. I think what Ifeanyi should do is we should set up another webinar for pure product knowledge where we discuss the entire master community of Sobha, because these things I just said are actually more important for you to know than the products, because the products we can help you in Sobha. We at Sobha can help you. We can be in a Zoom meeting with your client and we can take you further. But these are the things that will bring you and that client to that table of closure that you need to know. But you need to at least have a little product knowledge. By all means, if you want to have full product knowledge, trust me, I will be there to give you. But I'm just going to share a bit of information for you. I'm sure you must have heard that Sobha Parkland, which is our premier master community, is 8 million square feet in size, and we dedicated 30% of it to open and green space. These are the kind of things that customers should hear when you're talking to them about the product. That's the first thing to sell the community before you sell the product. Because what we are selling as Sobha is not just product, it's a lifestyle, community living, an antithesis of urban life, where you can get out of the hustle and bustle, of downtown, Marina, and all those kind of places, and come to a peaceable place, which is in close proximity to those places that I've just mentioned. So you need to understand this, and you need to also have the offers at the back of your mind, which is what we're going to be dealing with. The offers will change from time to time, but the offers are very, very important for you to know. We have offers that are like post-handover payment plan, which means that the customer can keep paying for the product after the product has been delivered, at a certain period, and he or she can keep paying for about 2 years after the product has been delivered. Presently, we've got on 2 products called Quick Vista Grande and the Crest. We have a payment plan that says 60/40. And what that means is that during the construction phase, between now and 2025, when the property will be completed, the customer is allowed to pay 60% as per a payment schedule, in installments, because they are broken down in installments for him. And the 40% he can pay after the property must have been completed and possession must have been taken by the customer for 2 years. So this is one aspect of offers that you can somewhat try to hold to the end, to the closing stage, so that the customer can know exactly what you're trying to give him, why you should buy, because that question is going to come back. Why should I buy when I can buy this property at this price? And one of the things I used to do with that 40% post handover is I sometimes sell mortgage to these customers, because one thing a lot of people don't know about the real estate market is you can actually get mortgage as a non-resident. You see, that is so weird, because mortgage most times can only be availed by residents and citizens of a certain country. But as a non-resident in Dubai, you can actually get mortgage of up to 50% of the property value. So what I usually do is I try to sell to them that they can buy a property, for example, 1 million dirhams. I try to sell to them that you can buy that property for 600,000 dirhams. I'm talking about closure now, what I do on closure. And tell them that the 400,000 dirhams doesn't have to be your own equity. It can come from the bank because you can take mortgage as a non-resident. So if that kind of customer is trying to use that property for investment, his ROI calculation, return on investment, will not be upon 1 million. It will be upon 600,000, which means he can maximize his return on investment by leveraging on what the bank can give him on that 400,000, and he can pay the bank's installment when he puts that property on rental. So rather than paying the return on the rent and the equated monthly installments to the bank from his pocket, that property can pay its bank loan and to still give him some change in his pocket as return on investment. So you see closure, and that closure statement is from industry knowledge. Okay, so industry knowledge. So that's why I said you've got to follow those rules, and those rules will take you to a place where you can actually close. So just by telling the customer he can get mortgage, can get his eyes to go, what did you say? So I've closed customers who the property value is 250,000, and they told me all I have is 180,000 dirhams. And I said, yeah, you can buy a property. And they're like, wow, because I've looked at the payment plan, I've understood the payment plan, and I've seen that it's got some post-handover payment plan. And before the post-handover payment comes in, he would have paid maybe about $160,000. The rest he can get mortgage. So this is why I say you need to know the offers. I need to be able to pull these offers at the end. Okay. So I think after this, we need to plan like proper webinar where we can actually talk about the product knowledge. Then we have to have another webinar on mortgage, where would I invite someone from the mortgage team, in Dubai to actually tell us about the types of mortgage, because mortgages, I know about mortgage, but it's not my field. So I may miss out on a lot of things, but this is what I know. Sales, motivate you to sell, push you to sell, give you some tidbit information, get your clients to generate interest, and bring the client to the table. See, you don't need to stress yourself too much. Just follow these rules simply and generate interest. At the initial stage, for most of you, don't bother yourself about closure because you're not really working inside. The more you do the product knowledge, the more you get yourself acquainted with industry knowledge and digital knowledge, you will know how to close on your own. So the major part of the job, which is closure, don't worry yourself about it. So imagine that all you are doing to earn minimum of $20,000 is to generate interest. Isn't that crazy? Just generate interest. If I myself, well, not really me because I'm not in sales, but I'm a business developer. Well, I say sales. And Iyanu, just kind of people who get your clients to buy and you make the $20,000. So at the initial stage, just follow the gasket rule and don't burden yourself about the execution closing stage. Just try as much as possible to get the client to that table of closure, and you've got people on ground to close the deal for you. So with this, I would want to entertain a lot of questions because I believe questions helps us to deal with more. And just because interaction helps us to deal with more. So at this stage, I want to take questions. Then I'll be able to touch on a lot of other things. Okay.
Yeah, right. Thank you so much, Tobi. That was amazing. So much information. Guys, you can ask questions now. If you have any question, please just raise your hand and I will give you the mic to speak. If you have any questions. I know Tobi said so many things, so please ask questions now. Are there any questions? Are there any questions? Or was everything Tobi said so clear that you have no questions?
Yeah, Mr. Tobi.
Okay, that's Babashi the Shitu.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry. What I want to say is small question, but more conclusion.
Okay.
As we get closing up, just I remember when I was working for this Indian man, I sell furniture, So I went to this man in a Chelsea jersey to sell a furniture to the man. But unknown to me, The man was a Man U fan. So immediately I started the conversation, he told us back in the week's time. So when I'm back in the week's time, now the man now told me that, look, this Chelsea man trying to sell furniture. I don't think I'll be needing furniture. I was like, what? Something that was spoken about was buy. So until I got to the office and I told the Indian man, look at this guy, he ended up not buying the furniture. The man said, maybe it has to do with, he said, how do I dress in the place? I told him, it was a Saturday, it was a casual where I watched Chelsea, Later I could find out that he was a Man U fan. In closing these properties or selling whatever you're selling, you have to be conscious of what you're doing. First, emotions comes in. Two, there are some people, you wear a certain type of perfumes office and they are not fan of that perfume. So you've already lost the deal. So in every sense, you have to be very, very neutral and you must understand what you are saying. So this other things goes to Mr. Ifeanyi now. I think we have to get the list of all of these and the price tags in them. And what are we able to find, so we'll be able to offer them.
Yeah. Of course. Tunde. So yeah, this is your first call with us. So a lot of the other people that have been other sessions have received the product list, payment plans, and everything. So now that you're done with the call, for everyone that's on this call that is not a part of any of the groups, group A or B, I just want you guys to send me either a WhatsApp message. My number is, I'll put my number in the group, or an email just so that we can add you to the WhatsApp group, and then you can get all the product knowledge that you need. So I'm just going to add that to the chat now. That's my WhatsApp.
I think what I'm going to do was like I'll DM you my number so you can add me up.
Okay. So does anyone else have any questions? Thank you for that contribution. Does anyone else have any questions? I'm just going to be calling out some people. Amen. Do you have any question? Chino Yeram, do you have any question? James, Nara, Mary, Priye, Shagun, any questions you guys have that Tobi has not answered that you want clarification on? Okay. Tobi, looks like you did such an excellent job that most people don't have any questions.
I don't think so. I think there are questions. I think most people maybe are just shy to ask.
Okay.
Don't lose your confidence, please. Ask me. Ask me the questions. I want to hear the question. Because the way we can actually get into, the business of sales properly and tap into the minds of these clients is for us to ask the questions. Some things that are maybe bothering us in our minds. Maybe I'm sure some of you, for example, right now already have clients in your mind, but you're already dealing with the objections, on how to, approach this client or get this client to, commit, because this customer has money and you're just wondering how to break the ice. I know some of you are going to have those kind of questions, so ask me, then I can answer you, because I don't want to answer it myself.
Okay.
I don't want to ask myself and answer it.
I can imagine.
So ask me. Ask me on this platform. Don't ask me after. I won't answer you. Ask me so that everybody can learn, because we all need to learn from this,
Yeah. Anyone with a question? I will just unmute you. You can just raise your hand or mute yourself and ask the question.
Sorry, in fairness, you've been very, very explicit about your explanations. So I find it hard for anybody that will not understand, though maybe being a marketing person, really upriding what you're saying to me, but you've been very explicit and very clear, quite clear, and I don't think there's anything that anybody will not understand in what you say.
Okay, let me take the question to another direction. Now, because Tobi is an international business manager at Sobha, do you have any particular questions about the product that you're selling that you want to ask at this platform? I know people have been texting me WhatsApp. There might be some things that Tobi can clarify that even I can clarify so much. So if you have any particular questions on the products that you want to ask, even though I will share the list of the products, please, you can also ask that kind of question as well. Okay, Toby, we don't have any question. Thank you so much for the amazing session. Like you recommended, I will create a separate session on product knowledge, and then I will also create a second question session on mortgages, because those are two very, very key things that a lot of people will want to know about. Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much for everyone that has joined the session. I'm going to this recording is going to be available on YouTube. I will share a link on our WhatsApp channel, so that everyone you can go back, you can watch the video. If for any reason you're feeling less confident, you can listen to some of the things that Toby has said about confidence, or at any other stage of the sales process, you just need some help. I will share those things. Toby, do you have any final words before I end the session? We can't hear you anymore. We can't hear you.
Sorry, my final words will be: don't let anything hold you back. You can make more than $20,000 every month, selling properties in Dubai, especially with showrooms. So don't let anything hold you back. You can sell it. If you ever thought in your mind that I don't think I can sell, I don't think so. I think that's not true. I think absolutely anyone and everyone can sell if you put their mind to it and you follow basic principles and basic rules of sales. So happy selling, everybody. Let's start selling and let's start crunching these numbers.
Yes.
See you.
Thank you so much, Toby. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.